that point, I'm going to go ahead and start recording. All right. So there we go. Well, it's good to see everybody. Today is September 1st, 2021, first day of the new semester for Northwest College. I know most of you, not everybody. There's a couple of new sign-ons today, so welcome. My name is Astrid Northrup, and just by way of introduction, I am the division chair of the STEM division, and I am a professor of engineering, science, and mathematics here at Northwest College. My background, my degrees are in petroleum engineering. I have bachelor's and master's degrees in petroleum engineering, and I also have an academic certification in land surveying, and I'm a registered professional engineer in Wyoming and Colorado. So I will, in addition to teaching you the material, I'll try to start introducing you to some of the ideas about the ways that engineers view work in general, and some of the things that are a little bit outside of the purview of pure math and science, and that sort of float over into the applied sciences. So I love this class, and I'm just, like I said, very happy to see you all here. So to get started, the first thing that I'm going to do is to take a look at our course page, and here for statics, let's see, maybe I should start one page back on this. Let's make sure everybody's okay to get in. This was also on the introductory lecture that I gave you, but when you log into mynwc.edu, you should have this Moodle logo, and then whatever courses have a Moodle component for you should be underneath there. So for us, you would choose statics, and then you would get the page for statics. All of you are here, so that's a really good sign. So you got into the Zoom link. If you ever have trouble getting into Moodle, if you send me an email before class, I can always send you the link for this Zoom class if you can't get into Moodle. Doesn't happen very often, but every now and then there will be a little bit of a problem. So at any rate, after today, our class will be posted here. So if you want to refer back to anything, the material will be right here. So the way that I have the course divided, the top part is introductory material, and then also our schedule. And I talked a little bit about this in the lecture that I sent to you yesterday, the recorded lecture that I emailed to you. But basically, here's a list of our class days up through the midterm, and it tells you what videos to watch, whether there are videos or not, and at what time we'll Zoom if we Zoom. So what I've done is, for example, video number 4 is quite long, so we won't Zoom that day. Video 5 is only about a half hour long, so we'll start Zooming half hour into our class time. Or so in other words, you watch this, you don't necessarily have to start watching it at 1 o'clock. If you watch it over the weekend or get caught up during the week or whatever, it just buys you a little bit of a buffer. But I expect that you'll watch the video before you come to class so that you'll be ready to talk about that and to ask questions and so forth. In the final column of this schedule, I've just put the material that's due. And the pattern in this class is I try to keep all my classes really consistent in terms of my grading and my assessment. So in this class and in my other classes, you'll do either 2 or 3 homeworks and then have a quiz. The quiz is timed but not proctored. Then you'll have 2 more homeworks and a midterm exam. The midterm exam is proctored. I can proctor you face-to-face, or if you're at a distance, or if you prefer just to take it in your own home or in a different setting, I can proctor you using Zoom, just like this. So I've been doing it for a while. It works out really well, and it seems to be satisfactory. One of the reasons, obviously, I need to be careful of academic honesty, but the main reason that I want to proctor your exams for you is because if you run into anything that's confusing to you or anything that you need help on, I would like you to be able to ask me right away. So if we're proctoring via Zoom, we can use the chat feature so that we don't disturb your classmates to do that. And then also, if we need to talk a little bit more, we can go into a breakout room. And so it's just you and me, and we can work on that. So the first homework in here will be due next Friday, September 10th. And it's a unit conversion handout because chapter 1 in this textbook doesn't have any homework. So I've got a handout to get you squared away with that. Then the second homework would be due on September 20th. You have about a week to get ready for the first quiz, which you take on your own time, but just by Monday, September 27th. And then homework number 3 by October 8th. And then I kind of scooted back homework number 4, so it's due at the same time as the midterm exam. October 22nd is actually the one day we have for fall break. And so it's right in the middle of the semester. So if we take the midterm by there, we're totally on schedule. In the second half of the semester, we'll run pretty much like this. Just of course, there'll be chapters 5 through 9 instead of the earlier material, but I'll lay out a schedule, tell you when we'll Zoom and so forth. Okay, so if you look at the Zoom schedule right here, you'll see since we're Zooming today, on Friday of this week, you'll watch videos 2 and 3. So we don't have a Zoom. That will take up the whole hour for you. On Monday, Labor Day, there's no class, so there's no Zoom. Next Wednesday, like I said, video 4 is quite lengthy, so there's no Zoom. But next Friday, September 10th, we'll meet at 1:30 after you watch video number 5. So that will give you a chance to work with me if you have any questions about the handout. But the other piece I just want to really be clear about is I'm here all the time. I basically work, I can take questions and talk to you after hours as well, but I work a 40-hour week and I only teach about way less than 40 hours. So I'm here, I'm available to help you. If you run into trouble, I really want you to contact me. You can email me or you can text me. My cell phone number is 307-272-1833. And sometimes I have students that are a little bit hesitant to text me, and please don't be. It is absolutely not a problem. The first time you may have to tell me who you are so I can put you in my contacts so we can have a good conversation. But don't ever hesitate to text me. And if I'm away from my phone or if I'm busy, I just won't answer till I get back to it. So anytime you have a question, go ahead and send that to me. All right. So the other piece of the puzzle is when we get into this is the introductory material. I did want to take a minute. The syllabus is right here. The syllabus tells you all the stuff about how your grade is going to break down, how you're going to earn the grade that you want. The midterm and the final are weighted very heavily. This is kind of due to the proctoring situation, but I promise you that the homework and the quizzes will get you ready for the midterm and the final. So when you do the homework and quizzes, you're not only getting points, you're also preparing yourself for that midterm exam. So everything works together. The other piece is when you take the midterm and the final exam, you are allowed to bring in a study sheet. So like, this is a mess, but like a regular sheet of paper, 8.5 by 11, you can write on it on both sides. So you don't have to memorize formulas. You can remind yourself of how to work problems. You can put anything that's useful to you on that sheet. So that allows you to show me your knowledge rather than regurgitating memorized information. The other part about that is I'll grade your homeworks less carefully, your quizzes more carefully, midterm and final very carefully. But I'm really looking for your problem solving. I'm looking for how you thought the problem out. So, and we'll talk about this process. Don't worry, I'm not going to turn you loose and say, just do it this way. But there's a certain method that engineers use to solve problems. And that's one of the things that we're going to learn in here. So that will carry on for you after this class and help you in other classes as well. So right here at the homework template button is a diagram of how I would like your homework to be turned in. I really like this. It doesn't have to be green, but this type of paper, it's called engineering composition paper. And you can order it on Amazon or sometimes you can get it at Walmart. But it's really nice because it has a quadral grid on it. And so it keeps your work really nice and organized. But what I want you to do, you'll notice also, like when you think about this compared to math class, there are way less problems that you'll be doing in here. So like a whole homework set might be 10 or 12 problems. And the reason is because every problem is quite lengthy. So at the top of every paper, at the top of every page, you want to put the date that the homework is due, the course number, for example, here, ES 2110, the chapter or other, like it's to be homework number 1 handout or something like that, your last name and your first name on every page, and then in the corner, what page number this is out of the total number of pages. When you work a problem, you put the problem number off slightly to the left. You identify the problem, you sketch or do what's called a free body diagram. You list the theory or principle, which is usually an equation, list any assumptions, and then you do the solution. Your answer is always a number with units, and you need to write it in the proper number of significant figures or close to it. I'm not really picky, like if we were in chemistry or something, I would need it to be exact, but I just don't want to see 12 digits if the real answer is a 3-digit number. And that will be discussed in chapter 1 and on the homework handout for the unit conversion stuff. But if you need more information about it, please let me know and we'll spend some time talking about it. Okay, when you get done with one problem, you don't have to start a new page, but I do want you to separate the problem. I've drawn a line here. You don't necessarily have to do that. However, you have to do something to indicate that you're starting a new problem, and then continue with the next part. Okay, so we get through the preliminary information. We get down to the meat of the material. Every chapter has its own section. So the first chapter is the first section is chapter 1. So what you do is you read the textbook, you glance through the review notes, and then these are videos. So watch the videos. Here, the unit conversion handout is the homework assignment. And then when you're done, you submit it through Moodle. Okay, I need to get rid of that. All right, so and so one of my students a few years ago had said, if you remember in this class, submit for success. Every time you see submit, that's where you turn something into me. The other documents and items are to get you ready to submit that homework. All right, so next Friday, you'll turn in the unit conversion handout. You need to put it in a single PDF file and submit it through Moodle. If you have any trouble with that, if you don't have access to a scanner, please let me know. But there are some really good free scanning programs that you can even put on your phone. One is called Office Lens, and it's pretty good. So but I want you to submit, like if you have 6 pages, I don't want a picture of 6 pages. I don't want 6 pictures. I want 1 PDF file with all of those pages in there. Okay, and that's just for ease of grading. It's really nice the way it keeps everything organized for me if you'll do that. Okay, so you have a homework assignment due on September 10th, which is next Friday. Then you'll have your second, see here's the word submit, right? That's what we look for. Will be due 10 days later. Then you will submit the quiz work on September 27th. And then we'll start with chapter 3. So this will be the quarter point of the semester. We'll do chapters 3 and 4 and the midterm, then we'll be at the halfway point of the semester. So that's kind of the mechanics of what we're doing. I wanted to talk just a minute about what is statics. Statics is a course in what's called vector mechanics. So those of you that are newly in calculus or out of calculus 1, probably remember working a little bit with vectors. And statics is about items in the real world that don't accelerate. So bridges, roadways, trusses, any weight-bearing structures. And we sort of learn the principles of static equilibrium. So we look at things, we keep them from translating and we keep them from spinning, because either one is obviously not a good idea if you want something to sit still. So we're going to learn the math behind that. We're also going to get really familiar with vectors. We're going to start a little bit with three-dimensional visualization. And if you're good at three-dimensional visualization, that's terrific. If you're not, I'm going to teach you how to do the math so that you can visualize it mathematically. If you and actually it's better for analysis to visualize it mathematically, and there's a process. So you don't have to have a flash of insight to make it happen. Some people are better at visualizing in 3 dimensions than others. And so I'll teach you to do it, regardless of your innate skill level. The other thing about statics is it's the first class that you take in the engineering science sequence after Calculus 1. And that is that dyad of Calculus 1 and statics is sort of the cornerstone of the engineering education. So almost every engineering student since 1940s has taken statics. And it also helps you get used to vector mechanics. You're going to have at least 2 more courses with vector mechanics, and then possibly more depending on what branch of engineering you want to go into. So almost every engineer takes statics, dynamics, and about 80% take mechanics of materials as well. And statics is the first in that 3-semester sequence of vector mechanics. So you're in the right place. I'm really crazy about engineering. I think it's a great profession. It's been really good for me. It's a really neat way to live your life. It's a neat way to view the world, and we're just getting started. So at this point, do you guys have any questions for me? You guys are going to make it easy on me. So, which is not necessarily your goal. So what we'll do then is I'm going to just wait a few more minutes, but you are welcome to sign off. I'll just make sure that there aren't any questions that people want to raise individually, but get working on that handout for unit conversions. Don't forget my phone number, 307-272-1833, and text me anytime. If you can at all, get some engineering composition paper. If you're here in Powell, I have stacks of it over here on my desk. I should show you right there. That's underneath the tape measure. That's all engineering comp paper. So I'll put a bunch of it right outside my office door, and you're welcome to come get some to work on your homework. And if not, let me know. I could mail some to you, or if you have some, you can just use what you have. But I really do prefer engineering comp paper for your homework. So if you have any questions, stick around. Otherwise, I'm going to drop the recording. This will be posted to our Moodle page, and I will be available to you. And then I will look forward to seeing you not this Friday, but a week from Friday on September 10th. And I look forward to getting your homework on unit conversions. And I'm looking forward to helping you with anything that doesn't make sense between now and then. All right, everybody, I'm going to stop the recording and feel free to sign off, and I'll see you.
Yeah.